Hi everyone, welcome back to Little Learn Mom. Today I decided to give you guys a quick video on our most recent library haul and kind of show you a little bit how I select books for my son. So we're going to start off with his pile, and these are his required readings, and I also read along with these books with him. Sometimes we do read alouds during when he's doing handwriting, and if you hear him in the background, he's just playing. So anyway, we're going to start a new series. We're going to start doing the Super Turbo, and this story, I believe it follows the different adventures of a hamster. And my son likes that show called Super Turbo, but that was about a snail, and so I saw this one and I thought, hey, this might be a good series to get him into. It's a chapter book. There are a total of 120 pages in this book, and this is right on point for him. He's like at in the second grade, third grade level, but because he is only 6 years old, newly turned 6, I have to make sure that I watch the maturity levels and the contents in the books that I select for him. So even though it is a chapter book, I went over this to make sure that I was okay with the content and the language that was in here. So he'll be reading this one. A friend of mine who runs the Melanin Books for Melanin, it's Melanin Books for Melanin Kids Facebook group, and she has an Instagram, and I will put both of those links in the description box for you if you're interested in checking her out. She suggested this series called The Desmond Cole and the Ghost Patrol, and this particular book is called The Haunted House Next Door. This is book 1. The second book is Desmond Cole and the Ghost Patrol, Ghosts Don't Ride Bikes, Do They? And so what is important for us and our family, we want to make sure that there is equal representation in the books that my son reads. We want to make sure that that he can see himself in some of the books that I pretend to him. And majority of our books that we do select for him, we make sure that they have equal representation of himself within those books. So the next set of books that he's going to read, we have already read 5 of the 8 data set, and I believe it's 8 or it may be 7. I think it's 7. The last book to this one I'm actually going to have to buy because I cannot get it from our local library. So this particular book, this is book 6. It's the data set and the invasion of the insects. This is a very cute book. This follows 4 kids who are really smart. They're really into math. They're really into science. My son loves science, and so this was an excellent series for him. And they've got this really kind of kooky doctor that's in this book that the kids kind of hang out with, and they go on all these great adventures. I highly recommend this series. You check this out if you have a child that loves STEM and just want to have some fun with an easy read. And again, this book is maybe 100, and this one is 130 pages. This is a really quick read for my son, and so he won't take that long to get through this. And again, I do sometimes read a chapter or 2 out of the books for him. So that is his pile. The next pile that I got for him is another recommendation from the Melanin Books for Melanin Kids group. She recommended Bottle Cap Boys, and so we will be reading this. And if you notice, for my son loves music and he loves science, and so those are the things that I tend to try to make sure that when I do a library haul that I find for him, because those are his interests. So here's his science. This one is talking about I believe, I haven't read this book yet, but I do believe that it incorporates music and dance and the arts in it, and that is like right up his alley. The next book, we have a mini unit that we're going to be doing on Barack Obama. He wanted to, I don't know, he found this plaque that used to be in his bedroom when he was a baby, when Barack Obama won the presidential election the first time, and I just had it left over and I just kind of hung it up in his room. And so he's going to be reading the Barack Obama of the I Sing a Letter to My Daughters, and I've got a couple more books on Get Epic that he can read. He recently fell in love with, well, I don't want to say recently, he's been a huge fan of Bob and Larry for a very, very long time. So we actually have 3 Bob and Larry books. One of the books is on the side of my bed. So he's going to be reading The Half-Hearted Viking, and he's going to be reading Where Is God When I'm Scared. And this book right here, sometimes what I do is I find books that I'm trying to test out a series to see if it's something that we might be into. And I can tell you right now, we're not going to read this. This is not something that I believe is going to interest him at all. So this one is called The Horrible Harry and the Top Secret Hideout. I just kind of flipped through it last night, and I just said, I just don't think this is something he's gonna want to read or listen to. So I will try it, and if it doesn't work, we'll just push it to the side and say, okay, moving on next. If you follow me over on Instagram, you know that I do very elaborate unit studies. And this particular unit study was very much interest-led for my son. He wanted to learn more about Native Americans, and I wanted to make sure that I gave him content that actually was good, strong content, and that it wasn't something that I would have to question behind it. One of the things I did do is I did reach out to the Native American Council to get their recommendations for books. They gave me a very good detailed way of selecting books when I go to look through them, and I'm going to do a video on our Native American study. But if you follow us on Instagram, you can take that journey with us and see what I'm presenting to him. So for myself, I'm reading The Black Indians, A Hidden Heritage. This is a series of books, and I'm actually going to put pictures of these series on my Instagram so people can take a look at them. The series of this book is called We Were Here First, and it covers, this is a huge series. I got these, I've got more of these coming at the library. So the very first one we have here, I have the Cheyenne, the Blackfeet, the Cherokee Indians, and I have the Sioux, and so I cannot recommend these books more. And I'm probably gonna, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna be using this for our geography and our history section, these books right now, because we finished our social studies requirements, and we finished the social studies book, so we have we can use those. I decided to get Squantos Journey because I wanted him to kind of know a little bit how the story has been foretold. And it's by one of the highly recommended authors of the Native Americans. And so this is another book here to look at. I've got Hungry Johnny. This is a fun picture book for him. I got the Iroquois Indians, and so we'll be reading this one. And again, the Black Indians. Now, I'm already testing out our books for the fall season, I'm trying to find the good Kwanzaa books that fit well for us this year, so we're switching it up a little bit, and I'm not presenting the same one. So we have a very special Kwanzaa, and I'm actually going to buy this book on Thrift Books because I want to have that in my inventory. Celebrate Kwanzaa. This is from the National Geographic. I'm going to grab this one as well off of Thrift Books. And Little Rabbit's Kwanzaa. I have been trying to get this book for almost 3 years, and every year this book is checked out. So that is our library haul for the next 2 weeks. If you have any more questions, you know what to do. Find me on Instagram or hit me up in a comment in the comment section, and I will leave descriptions and links to all of these books so you can take a look at. Talk to you later. Bye.